Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Yonkers Raceway here on Friday. It is the 28th of June 2024. Gonna look the stakes races on the program from Yonkers, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and also join me tomorrow for my Stephen Foster Stakes preview from Churchill. An excellent card there, so stick around for my stakes preview from there. But beginning of the harness Triple Crown here with the Yonkers Trot from Yonkers. We'll be looking at the Yonkers Trot and the Messenger final, so races 7 and 8. Let's get to it right now. The 7th race from Yonkers, it's the MGM Grand Messenger final. It's we have a field of 8 pacers going that mile trip, going for that $225,000 purse. Gonna take the 5-horse Sweet Beach Life as a top selection. 5641 for me in the superfecta here. 5641 super top selection. 5-horse Sweet Beach Life. This 3-year-old gelding by Sweet Lou. Travis Alexander trains this one. Tyler Buter gets in the sulky. The horses last week ran in the limbs for this one here in Yonkers, and he finished second by neck that day, and he really paced home a decent final quarter that day, in 27-2 that day. You know, he just missed the winner who's running back this one today, but, you know, really got down the race course well, gaining a little bit ground. Doesn't have a lot of forwardly pace, but this horse paces home a decent mile late, like she did, or like he did last week. 2 back and 9 wars of 4 pair mutual at Yonkers, the 11th of June. Guess what? This horse is a winner on a half mile and has done pretty decent on it. Winning by a length that day. Simbacker a little bit wide late, but he paced home great. 27-3 for the final, 153-3. You know, I thought it was a very good race for him that day. Not the fastest miles he's ever run, but still a very good run. He ran horribly where he broke at Chester in the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes in Memorial Day weekend. Finished 7th by 35 1/4 lengths. What can you do? He just couldn't stay the pace there. And then the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes for 3-year-old colts and geldings at Pocono, 18th of May. He ran a career best 150-4 in that victor, winning by a length that day. He left off the gate, he got shuffled out of it, but he really had a wide trip to get the job done that day. Very, very good run. Most recent races haven't been half bad. Refreshing here. I think he could win. I think the 6-horse Janelle Granny for Georgie Bredin could win also for Scott Domenico. This 3-year-old colt by Fear the Dragon. His race last week in the limb wasn't bad at all. He won by a neck. Basically walked in the front end from a wide post or left off the gate, and he got the job done quite easily. Interesting that Tetrick chooses Armada Hanover over this one, but getting Georgie Bredin up in the sulky, you know, isn't a half bad thing. His horse could, you know, George Bredin, great speed rider, but that Messenger limb was an improvement of a race considered to the race 4 where he ran the North America Cup at Mohawk, where he finished 8th by 7.5 lengths that day, and he just had nothing. He had a very wide trip and very wide poster, and he just never really got into it. His limb for that race, again, wasn't really up to par either. Never really got into it, but in the Ohio Sire Stakes before that, a week prior in early June at Northfield, he had a decent second place finish from 3 by 3/4 length. He had a bit of a wide trip that day, but he paced home decently late, and then he was a winner, and he qualified back before that in 156-3, 28-2 for that final quarter at Northfield the week prior. You know, his season this far hasn't been half bad. He's run some quick miles at Scioto in Ohio. Refreshing here at 3-1. It wouldn't surprise me. Let's use him in the pick 4 here, or the pick 5. I believe begins with race 5 here. There's a guaranteed pool of $75,000, so use him there. But to recap my selection for the 7th from Yonkers, it's the Messenger final. Going to take the 5-horse Sweet Beach Life. Going to give kudos to the 6-horse Janelle Granny. 5641 super, 5-6 in the multi race. The 8th race from Yonkers. Now it's the Yonkers Trot final. It's going for a purse of $300,000. Field of 8 trotters going that mile trip. Going to go to the 8-horse Situationship as a top selection. 8125 for me in the superfecta. 8125 super top selection 8-horse Situationship. This 3-year-old gelding by Chapter 7. Aki Svanstedt trains and drives this one. The horse's most recent outing came in the EBC at Vernon on the 14th of June, where he won by 3 3/4 lengths that day and had a dream trip. He stalked all the way around. He got a little wide late, but he trotted home decently. 28 for that final quarter, and 152-1. That was a very good run. He's come back to a half mile. He's coming to a half mile for the first time for the first time in a little bit of time since his 2-year-old race at Saratoga Harness. Refreshing here. I think he could run a good race here today. He's been pretty perfect on the Sire Stakes circuit. Prior to that, New York Sire Stakes of Vernon, 27th of May. He won by 5.5 lengths that day. And first parimutuel run of the season, he ran terrifically. He stalked all the way around, and he trotted home decently. 26-3. 152 and one for the final for the race. That was a very good run. Definitely has gotten quicker from his 2-year-old to 3-year-old campaign. And then prior to that, he ran in the Breeders' Crown Final for 3-year-olds for 2-year-olds at Hoosier last October, where he finished 6th by 12 and 3/4 lengths that day. Just really never had anything. Had a very wide trip. Just wasn't his day to win. He ran terrifically though in the limb for that day. He finished 2nd by a half length, trotting home decently there. And then the Interest Alley and the Red Mile, again a decent place. Coming back here, facing these kind of horses in the Open, I think he could get a trip to win. I think the 1-horse Security Protected for Marcus Melander and Tim Teacher can win also. Most recently in the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes a few weeks ago, Pocono, he went by a neck that day and ran a terrific race, 154 and 2. Trotting home quite easily on the front end. Again, a wide trip in the Meadows. Week prior to that, he won by 1.5 lengths that day, 153 and 3. 28 final quarter that day. Another very strong run. It's definitely run some fast times here. It's gonna have to overcome a half-mile track, but I think he can get the job done. I think it's a 2-horse race between the outside and inside horses here, so it's going to be an exciting trot this year. But to recount my selection for the 8th from Yonkers now, it's the Yonkers Trot Final. Going to take the 8-horse Situationship. Give kudos to the 1-horse Security Protected, 8125 Super, 8-1 in the multi-race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.